It says turtle power, partner with allies, buff your team. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Commander deck. Select your turtle, unleash mutagenic mayhem, and battle your friends in Commander Magic's most popular multiplayer format. Throw down with Leonardo and a partner pal, Donnie, Raph, Mikey, or Splinter, to customize your playstyle at the table. Each teammate will help in different ways to achieve your goal. Build up +1/+1 counters and grow your creatures into the world's most fearsome fighting team. We've got Leonardo the Balance, Raphael the Muscle, and Michelangelo the Heart. Mutagen-esque tear tab. Okay. This one says press start. Okay. Oh, I love it already. So, I've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a Turtle Power Commander deck, and it's all pixelated. Oh, that is great. We've got white, blue, black, red, and green. Oh, that is great. Like a little card of this pixel art. Oh my gosh. This is great. And then we have the deck box, which is, oh gosh. So it all just folds down. And we've got that pixelated version of everything on there. With all four turtles and their respective colors. Oh, and looks like we have Splinter on the top, which is cool. Oh, and you can kind of see him, just a little bit. I wish he moved over just a little, but that's fine. Okay. So we have Leonardo the Balance is a white legendary creature, Mutant Ninja Turtle. Whenever a token you control enters, you may put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Do this only once each turn. White, blue, black, red, and green mana. Creatures you control gain Menace, Trample, and Lifelink until end of turn. Partner, character select. You may have 2 commanders if both have this ability. 3/3. Donatello, the Brains. Blue. Legendary creature, Mutant Ninja Turtle. If 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus a mutagen token are created instead. Partner, character select. He has 2/4. Oh, okay. We have Splinter, the Mentor. Is black. Legendary creature, Mutant Ninja Rat, with a Menace. Whenever a Splinter or another non-token creature you control leaves the battlefield, create a mutagen token. His partner, character select, and has 2/2. Raphael, the Muscle. Red legendary creature, Mutant Ninja Turtle. Double all damage that creatures you control with counters on them would deal. When Raphael enters, create a mutagen token. Partner, character select. 4/4. your second main phase. If you attacked this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature and create a food token. This partner character select and 2/1. There we go. And Heroes in a Half Shell is a white, blue, black, red, and green, a legendary creature. Mutant Ninja Turtle with Vigilance, Menace, Trample, and Haste. Whenever one or more mutants, ninjas, and or turtles you control deal combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on each of those creatures and draw a card. That's 5/5. Okay, this really is a lot of the video game references. Continue is a white instant. Choose up to 4 target creature cards in your graveyard that were put there from the battlefield this turn. Return them to the battlefield. Endless Foot Assault. White enchantment. Squad 1. And a white mana. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may pay 1 white mana in any number of times. When this enchantment enters, create that many tokens that are copies of it. Whenever you attack, for each opponent, create a 1/1 black ninja creature token that's tapped under the and attacking that player. Oh, okay. We have April O'Neil live on the scene, a blue legendary creature, human detective. Whenever a mutant, ninja, or turtle you control enters, investigate, create a clue token. It's an artifact with 2 mana. Sacrifice this token, draw a card. It also has a partner character select and has 2/1. Interesting. Baxter, Fly in the Ointment. Legendary creature is a blue legendary creature, insect mutant scientist. Whenever Baxter enters or attacks, each creature you control with a counter on it gains flying until end of turn. Whenever you draw a card, play +1/+1 counter on Baxter. That's 2/2. Here Comes a New Hero is a blue sorcery. Target player draws X cards. Create a token that's a copy of up to 1 target creature with mana value X or less. I really like the art on that one, by the way. Irma, part-time mutant, is a blue legendary creature, human mutant shapeshifter. At the beginning of combat on your turn, Irma becomes a copy of up to 1 other target creature you control, except her name is Irma, part-time mutant, and she has this ability. Then put a +1/+1 counter on her. It's 1/1. Interesting. Krang, the All-Powerful, is a blue legendary artifact creature. Ultram Robot. If a player drawing a card causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Whenever a player draws a second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Krang. Just 3/3. Ray Fillet, Wave Warrior, is a blue legendary creature, fish mutant. It has flying and evolve. Whenever a creature you control enters, if that creature has a greater power or toughness than this creature, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. And whenever a creature you control with a counter on it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. It has 0/2. Bebop, Skull and Crossbones is a black legendary creature, boar mutant. Rocksteady Mutant Marauder. Whenever this creature enters, target player may put Rocksteady into their hand from their library, then shuffle. It has Death Touch. Whenever Bebop deals combat damage to a player, you may draw X cards where X is the number of counters on Bebop. If you do, you lose X life. Just do one. Dimension X Pizzasaur is a black artifact creature, food alien mutant. Whenever this creature enters, put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature. When you do, destroy up to one target creature with mana value less than or equal to the number of counters among permanents you control. It also has, for 2 mana, tapping this card and sacrificing this creature, you gain 3 life, and each opponent loses 3 life. It has 2/1. Oh. Foot Chopper is a black artifact equipment. When this equipment enters, create a 1/1 Black Ninja creature token, then attach this equipment to it. Okay. Equipped creature has flying. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice it. If you do, draw cards equal to its power. Equip 2. Then we have Game Over is a black sorcery. This spell costs 2 less to cast if a player's life total is less than or equal to half their starting total. Okay. Destroy all creatures. Rat King Pale Piper is a black legendary creature, rat avatar. Okay. With menace. Whenever Rat King or another non-token creature you control leaves the battlefield, create a 1/1 black rat creature token. To sacrifice a token, draw a card. This has 3/3. Ooh, okay, we do get Shredder. Shadow Master is a black legendary creature, Human Ninja. Whenever Shredder attacks a player, for each other opponent, create a token that's a copy of Shredder, tapped and attacking that player except it isn't a legendary. Sacrifice those tokens at the end of combat. Whenever Shredder deals combat damage to a player, that player loses half their life rounded up. 5/5. Swift Demise is a black instant. Swift Demise deals 1 damage to target creature, then destroy each creature you don't control that was dealt damage this turn. Casey Jones Back Alley Brute is a red legendary creature, Human Berserker, with menace. Whenever Casey Jones attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature. Whenever you put 1 or more +1/+1 counters on a creature you control, Casey Jones deals that much damage to target opponent. That's 4/2. Electric Seaweed is a red creature, plant wall. Defend with Defender and Haste. When this creature enters, until end of turn, whenever another creature dies, this creature deals 1 damage to each non-wall creature. By tapping, this creature deals 1 damage to any target. It has 0/4. Fast Forward is a red sorcery. Oh, the references. I love it. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each opponent to attack this turn. Goad all creatures your opponents control. Until your next turn, those creatures attack each combat, if able, and attack a player other than you, if able. Interesting. Ooh, we've got Shell Shock as a red instant. For each opponent, choose up to one target creature that player controls. Shell Shock deals X damage to each of those creatures. You create a mutagen token for each creature dealt damage this way. There are artifacts with one tap and sacrifice this token, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Activate only as a sorcery. Special move is a red instant with choose 2, jump kick, destroy target artifact, dash attack, put 2 +1/+1 counters on target attacking or blocking creature you control. Foot toss, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to any other target, then sacrifice it. Okay. Tempestra, Team of Games, is a red legendary creature with elemental illusion. For 2 red mana, tapping, sacrificing an artifact, create a token that's a copy of another target creature you control, except it isn't a legendary. It gains haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step as 1/3. It's been quite a while. Taka and Razar, unsupervised. It's a red legendary creature, turtle wolf mutant with first strike. Whenever another non-creature token you control leaves the battlefield, put a +1/+1 token or counter on Toga and Razar and create a treasure token. This ability triggers only once each turn. This is 3/3. High Score is a green enchantment. If one or more +1/+1 counters will be put on a creature you control, that many +1/+1 counters are put on it instead. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card. If you control a creature with the greatest power among creatures on the battlefield. Ooh, I like that. I might use that in other decks, honestly. Here we have a Leatherhead. Iron Gator is a green legendary creature. Crocodile mutant rogue with trample and haste. Whenever Leatherhead attacks, put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. This has 5/5. Level Up is a green enchantment aura. Enchanted creature. When this aura enters, put a +1/+1 counter on enchanted creature. Enchanted creature has, whenever this creature attacks, double the number of +1/+1 counters on it. Then, if it has a power 10 or greater, draw a card. Interesting. Ninja Pizza is a green enchantment. Foods you control have tap, sacrifice this artifact. Add 1 mana of any color. At the beginning of your second main phase, create a food token. It's an artifact with 2 mana, tap, and sacrifice this token. You gain 3 life. Okay. And finally we get to Rocksteady, which was mentioned previously with the Bebop card as a partner. So it says Rocksteady Mutant Marauder is a green legendary creature, Rhino mutant. And of course it says partner with Bebop, Skull, and Crossbones. When this creature enters, target player may put Bebop into their hand from their library, then shuffle. Trample. Whenever another non-token creature you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It says 3/3. We have Super Combo, a green sorcery. Replicate 2 mana. When you cast this spell, copy it for each time you paid its replicate cost. You may choose new targets for the copies. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. Ooh, okay. Ooh, okay. Okay, we're getting interesting now. Here we have 2 cards. It says Fuse. You may cast one or both halves of this card from your hand. Double Jump is a blue instant. Put a flying counter on target creature you control until end of turn. It has base power and toughness 5/5. And Flying Kick is a red instant. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. Ah, I see. Okay. Arcade Cabinet is a colorless artifact. When this artifact enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 4 target creatures. Then it has for 2 mana, tapping and sacrificing a token. Double the number of counters on target creature. Interesting imagery there. Then we have Big Mother Mouser is a colorless artifact creature robot. This creature enters with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever this creature attacks, double the number of +1/+1 counters on it. When this creature dies, create a number of 1/1 colorless robot artifact creature tokens equal to the number of +1/+1 counters on this creature. It originally has 0/0. Coin of Mastery is an artifact, a colorless artifact. Each creature you control enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it for each mana from an artifact source you spent to cast it. By tapping this, it says create a treasure token. It's an artifact with tap and sacrifice this token. Add 1 mana of any color. Exploding Barrel is a colorless artifact. Add 1 mana of any color, put a pressure counter on this artifact. For 8 mana, tapping and sacrificing this artifact, it deals 20 damage to target creature. Whew. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each pressure counter on this artifact. Activate only as sorcery. Interesting. Mole Module is a colorless artifact vehicle with menace. Whenever this vehicle deals combat damage to a player, mill 4 cards. You may put a permanent card from among them onto the battlefield. It says Crew 2. 6/6. Oh, that's cool. Roadkill Rodney is a artifact creature robot with a squad 3. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may pay 3 any number of times. When this creature enters, create that many tokens that are copies of it. Ooh, okay. It has Death Touch, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, create a mutagen token. 2/1. Okay, we keep talking about mutagen tokens. We gotta find a way to use them, right? Guess we'll find out. Big Apple 3 AM is a land. This land enters tapped. As it enters, choose a color. By tapping, you can add 1 mana of the chosen color. For 5 mana and tapping, it creates a 1/1 black rat creature token for each opponent you have. Ah, okay. Okay. Then we have a Hidden Hideout is a land. This land enters tapped. And by tapping, you add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. For 2 mana and tapping, target creature you control with a counter on it gains lifelink. +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. For 1 mana, choose target creature with counter on it. When that creature dies this turn, return that card to its owner's hand. Okay. The Vanquish Horde is a white sorcery. This spell costs 1 mana less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. Destroy all creatures. Okay. Wave Goodbye is a blue sorcery. Return each creature without a +1/+1 counter on it to its owner's hand. Okay. I like the dynamic pose here. Holding on for dear life. Blasphemous Act is a red sorcery. This spell costs 1 mana less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. Okay. Blasphemous Act deals 13 damage to each creature. Ooh, okay. Biogenic Ooze is a green ooze creature. When this creature enters, create a 2/2 green ooze creature token. At the beginning of your end step, create a +1/+1 counter on each ooze you control. For 1 mana and 3 green mana, create a 2/2 green ooze creature token. This has 2/2. And here we have Slash Clone is a green creature, a turtle hydra. This creature enters with X +1/+1 counters on it. And for 2 mana and a green mana, and removing a +1/+1 counter from this creature, you can destroy target artifact or enchantment. It naturally has 0/0. Whoa, interesting. Interestingly, this says Steelbane Hydra. And this one says Vigor. I'm not sure what's up with that. I haven't seen that formatting before, but this says Heralds of Shredder is a green creature elemental incarnation with trample. If damage would be dealt to another creature you control, prevent that damage. Put a +1/+1 counter on that creature for each 1 damage prevented this way. When Heralds of the Shredder is put into a graveyard from anywhere, shuffle it into its owner's library. It is 6/6. Ooh, okay, so this one just really doesn't die. That is cool. Agral Amalgam is a green creature hydra. It has trample. This creature enters with X +1/+1 counters on it. When this creature enters, choose 1. Double the number of +1/+1 counters on this creature. Or, this creature fights a target creature you don't control. This one says Voracious Hydra. Interesting. To see if there's like a special way that works or something. But here we have Assassin's Trophy, a green-black instant. Destroy target permanent an opponent controls. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Interesting. Humongous Fungus is a black-green fungus creature. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters would be put on a creature you control, twice that many +1/+1 counters are put on it instead. It says 4/4. It says Corpsejack Menace. Okay. Chromatic Lantern is a colorless artifact. says lands you control have. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. And you can tap this card to add 1 mana of any color as well. Okay. Ooh, we're getting more into lands here as well. Cinderglade is a mountain forest land. By tapping, you can add a red or green mana. This land enters tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. City of Brass is a land. Whenever this land becomes tapped, it deals 1 damage to you. Okay? Interesting. By tapping, add 1 mana of any color. Interesting. Dragon Skull Summit is a black-red land. This land enters tapped unless you control a swamp or a mountain. By tapping, you can add a black or red mana. Exotic Orchard is the next land. By tapping, add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. Okay. Fabled Passage is another land with tap and sacrifice this land. Search your library for a basic land card. Put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Then, if you control 4 or more lands, untap that land. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Have the turtles coming out of the sewers. That looks like some mutagen off to the side. Grand Coliseum land. This land enters tapped. By tapping, you can add 1. I believe that is white. No. You can add 1 mana, and you can also add 1 mana of any color. This land deals 1 damage to you. Wow, really into damaging lands. Okay. And here we have Hinterland Harbor. It's a land. It says this land enters tapped unless you control a forest or an island. By tapping this land, you can either add a green or blue mana. Then we have Rain-Slicked Coves. It's a forest island land. By tapping, you can add a green or blue mana. This land enters tapped. Cycling 2. Discard this card and draw a card. You can draw a card. Rootbound Crag. This land enters tapped unless you control a mountain or forest. By tapping this land, you can add red or green mana. Smoldering Marsh is a swamp mountain land. By tapping, you can add a black or red mana. This land enters tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. Sodden Verdure. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's a forest island land. By tapping, you can add a green or blue mana. This land enters tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. I'm assuming these basic lands are coming up. Before that, though, we got Spire Garden. This land enters tapped unless you have 2 or more opponents. Okay? By tapping, you can add a red or green mana. Sunken Hollow is a island swamp land. By tapping, you can add blue or black. This land enters tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. Undergrowth Stadium. This land enters tapped unless you have 2 or more opponents. By tapping, you can add a black or green mana. Here is Vernal Fen, a swamp forest land that you can tap to add basic lands. Oh, then we go back to legendary creatures. With Lita, Little Orphan Amphibian. Okay, that is one that I feel like I should know, but I don't. It's a white legendary creature, a Mutant Ninja Turtle. Okay. With Alliance, whenever another creature you control enters, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Put a +1/+1 counter on Lita. Create a food token. It's an artifact with for 2 mana, tapping and sacrificing this token, you gain 3 life. Or you can scry 1. Does 2/1. Mona Lisa Science Geek. A green, legendary creature, lizard mutant. With reach. Add X mana. By tapping, you can add X mana of any one color, where X is Mona Lisa's power. That's 1/3. Okay, this is a card I've seen before. Lessons from Life. It's a green-blue sorcery. Draw 3 cards. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. Everything Pizza is a colorless artifact, a food artifact. When this artifact enters, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Then, for a whopping 2 colorless mana, white, blue, black, red, green, tapping this card, and sacrificing this artifact. Oh, this better be good. Target player gains 3 life, then draws a card. Each of your opponents discard a card. This artifact deals 3 damage to any target. Put 3 +1/+1 counters on up to 1 target creature. Okay. We've got Escape Tunnel, a land. By tapping and sacrificing this land, you can search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Or, the exact same thing, tapping and sacrificing this land. Target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. Oh, okay, that's interesting art for the Turtle Lair land. I love that. By tapping, you can add a mana. Add 1 mana of any color. By tapping, spend this mana only to cast a ninja or turtle spell. Then for 3 colorless mana, 3 mana of any color rather, and tapping, target ninja or turtle can't be blocked this turn. Interesting. Here we have Marauding Mutagen. It's a green ooze creature with Death Touch. When this creature enters, destroy target artifact, enchantment, or land. It has 2/2. And it is an acidic slime as well. 2/2. Cultivate is a green sorcery. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Reveal those land cards, put 1 onto the battlefield tapped, and the other into your hand, then shuffle. Harmonize is a green sorcery. Lets you draw 3 cards. Okay. That's a fun Mikey card. I like that. Arcane Signet is a colorless artifact with rather fun art of Mikey again. By tapping, you can add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. This is a familiar card to me. Card Soul Ring. This artifact, by tapping, you can add 2 mana. 2 colorless mana. Ash Barrens is a land. By tapping, you can add 1 colorless mana and basic land cycling 1. From 1 mana and discarding this card, you can search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Shuffle. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Command Tower is a land. commander's color identity. Nice. Evolving Wilds is a land. By tapping and sacrificing this land, you can search your library for a basic land card. Put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Ooh, we've got all of the computers, all these screens, monitors in the Channel 6 news. Path of Ancestry is a land. This land enters tapped. By tapping, you can add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. When that mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander, scry 1. Look at the top card of your library. You may put that card on the bottom. Thriving Grove is a land. This land enters tapped. As it enters, choose a color other than green. By tapping, you can add 1 green mana or 1 mana of the chosen color. Interesting. Thriving Isle is a land that enters tapped. As it enters, choose a color other than blue. By tapping, you can add 1 blue mana or 1 mana of the chosen color. Thriving Moor, exact same thing. It enters tapped. As it enters, choose a color other than black. And by tapping, you can add 1 black or 1 mana of the chosen color. Really like the art on these thriving cards. Then we've got Vibrant Cityscape is a land. With a tap and sacrifice this land, search your library for a basic land card. Put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. And then we finally get into the basic lands. Finally. We have Plains as the New York City streets with a pizza joint. And the pizza going into the sewer. It's a Plains card. An island card. Pizza there. And the blue water with the city skyline. A swamp, which shows the sewers. A mountain, which shows the city roofs, which is kind of clever. And then we've got a forest, which is a playground with a foot ninja, looks like, in the background. Then we've got another plains, island, swamp, mountain, forest, another forest, 3 forests. Interesting. Then we've got our tokens. We've got a food token, artifact, food, with for 2 mana, tapping and sacrificing this token, you gain 3 life. On the other side, we have a ninja token creature with a very dynamic pose. Then we have another food slash. Oh, this one's a rat. A token creature, a rat. Looks like Splinter without any of his garb. A clue, a token artifact, clue. For 2 mana and sacrificing this token, you can draw a card. An alleyway. Then we got another rat token creature. A clue. And ooze, a token ooze creature for 2/2. The other ones have. Okay, yeah, rat creature was 1/1. And the ninja was 1/1 as well. A treasure token artifact. With it, tapping and sacrifice this token, add 1 mana of any color. And a robot token artifact creature with 1/1. Another treasure. And a copy with all of the brothers' masks. I love that. Token. This token can be used to represent a copy something else. Okay, yup. Treasure, and another ninja for 1/1. And a mutagen, there we go. Mutagen. Token artifact mutagen. For 1 tapping and sacrificing this token, put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature, activate only as a sorcery. We got another ninja for 1/1. Mutagen robot for 1/1. A mutagen copy. And then we've got a on your turn card with the beginning phase of untapping your cards and drawing a card. First main phase of playing your one and only land per turn, cast creatures and other spells. Combat, declare attackers, your opponent declares blockers. Combat damage is dealt. Second main phase, play a land if you haven't already. Cast creatures and other spells. And ending phase, creatures heal and pass the turn. And popular Magic formats. Standard uses a 60-card deck made up of the most recently released Magic sets. Booster draft. Players open booster packs, then take turns picking cards from boosters to build into 40-card decks. And Commander, each player chooses a legendary creature to be their commander and builds a 99-card deck around that creature. It says you can learn more at magic.wizards.com/formats. Interesting. So, yeah. So that is the TMNT Turtle Power Commander deck. I think it's a really interesting deck. It would be really interesting to play and try to decide what commander or commanders to put out. Let me know your favorite cards in this set. I think, honestly, I really enjoyed Raphael for doubling the damage. Any creatures with counters on them. And I love the art of Michelangelo, the heart. And, I mean, Heroes in a Half Shell. It's just, looks amazing, and I feel like that's gotta be one of the main commander that I'd use. Is the Heroes in a Half Shell card. At least to start with all the different kinds of mana and everything in this deck. It should be really interesting. But what commander would you use, or what